Hi, welcome to the 10 hottest stories this week on 4constructionpros.com. I'm Larry Stewart with 4 Construction Pros.
And I'm Jonathan Kozlowski with Concrete Contractor.
Number 10 on the list was, can you mash a potato and do the twist? These construction robots. This is a Boston Dynamics video that shows off the flexibility and fun of its construction robots. The video demonstrates these machines' startling range and their balance and complexity of movement with a killer soundtrack.
With some great timing, considering many have set down New Year's resolutions, Bill Silverman, president of Springboard Business Coaching of Cherry Hill, New Jersey, put together 4 tips on how contractors can sculpt their businesses into masterpieces that you still want to be and achieve great personal satisfaction.
Yeah, it's all about refinement, right? Incremental improvement. Number 8 on the list is stimulus bill requiring contractors to do the right thing in coronavirus contact tracing. The minimum compliance effort, paper records of health screenings, that stuff won't keep construction workers productive when COVID-19 is infecting project sites. Here's how to notify workers who are actually at risk quickly and how it demonstrates your commitment to quality labor.
According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics census of fatal occupational injuries, that's a mouthful, construction workers experienced the second highest rate of fatal injuries from 2015 to 2019. Construction and extraction workers had a 6% increase in fatal injuries in 2019. That's 1,066 deaths. Wow. The highest since 2007. Of those injuries, 25% were caused by traumatic brain injuries. Now, here's why I'm rattling all these numbers off for you. MIPS, that's MIPS, a company out of Sweden, which produces helmets popular in bicycling, motorcycling, skiing, and other various sports, have turned their research into creating new, safer, hard hats for construction. These things, they're pretty cool. They use them in military and law enforcement. They know their things. Along with the article online, you can also find a podcast on the MIPS helmet and an episode of Digging Deeper on 4constructionpros.com.
Well, our next story is a report on infrastructure investment and the opportunity it presents to energize the U.S. economy. The American Society of Civil Engineers 2021 Failure to Act report discusses how the nation's failure to improve U.S. infrastructure affects the nation's economic performance. Since 1998, ASCE has given American infrastructure consistent D grades, and the projected gap between the needs and the likely infrastructure investment is projected to be more than $5.6 trillion by 2039, causing the economy to lose something more than $10.3 trillion in GDP. Here's how U.S. investment this year can start heading off that bleak projection.
Here at number 5, we is it cliche to bring up Game of Thrones still, or is that kind of dead? Because because winter is actually here, and as such, so are the concerns about dealing with concrete in the cold. Calcium chloride is one of the most effective and least expensive cold weather accelerator for concrete, but its use may be limited by building codes or prohibited by some specifications. This article looks to answer some common questions surrounding calcium chloride admixtures at an acceptable dose.
So number 4 on the list is a Readymix firm that admitted to fixing prices and rigging bids. The Department of Justice is charging Argos USA with conspiracy to fix prices, rig bids, and allocate markets for the sales of Readymix in Georgia from 2010 to 2016. Argos signed a deferred prosecution agreement to resolve the charge, agreeing to pay a $20 million criminal penalty and to cooperate with the Antitrust Division's prosecution of others involved in this conspiracy. You got the details there.
They don't fool around with those prices, don't they?
Yeah, antitrust laws, have been a specter hanging over the construction industry for a long time, and it's kept things on the up and up for a long time.
Ooh, specter, it sounds ominous. Becky Schultz, editor of Equipment Today, writes about 3 promising prospects for construction and infrastructure in 2021. She points out how infrastructure investment continues to be an active part of conversations on Capitol Hill. President-elect Biden's climate plan with the $2 trillion commitment to launch a national effort aimed at job creation, and the House passage of the Water Resources Development Act.
And then number 2 on the list is, how much money will your state DOT receive from the latest COVID relief bill? Division M of the Coronavirus Response and Relief Supplemental Appropriations Act provides full funding for highway and airport construction projects in 2021 and $10 billion allocated to states in support of emergency relief for state DOTs. That final agreement provided a total of $45 billion. Amtrak, mass transit, and state DOTs. And this story's got some estimates on how much of those coronavirus funds, the $10 billion to DOTs, will be allocated to state transportation departments.
It's interesting that you bring up transportation departments, because our next story is all about your diesel truck. Simple steps like keeping your fuel tanks and cans filled, using weather-appropriate fuels, strategic equipment parking, and regular battery care can all make a big difference in how winter impacts your business. Julian Wood of Perkins Engines writes some good do's and don'ts to keep your diesel engine trouble-free in the winter.
Yeah, everybody's paying attention to that right now. That's our list. Thanks, John, for being with me.
You're welcome.
And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I hope you all have a great weekend.